Okay guys, we're out here, we're gonna start driving for dollars today. So we're gonna hop in my car, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it and how simple it really is. And I literally had a student that recently just, within his first 3 weeks of driving for dollars, he found a deal that made him a $35,000 assignment fee, okay? It's bananas, it's crazy. Let's go show you how this is done, okay? What's up everybody, Clay Rockwood. I'm a real estate coach and we're out here driving for dollars today, and I'm gonna show you exactly how we do it, right? This is probably the easiest and quickest way to start getting off-market deals, okay? As a real estate investor. So I'm literally out here in my car, driving around, and I mean, obviously I'm using an app, the Deal Machine app, and we'll go into that later in a different video, but I just wanna show you exactly what you're looking for as you're out driving around in neighborhoods, in your market, what you're looking for, how to pin properties, and how this works, okay? So first of all, I'm choosing a neighborhood in an area that's probably lower income, right? I'm not gonna be driving around the nicest neighborhoods in the city because A, you're not gonna find, rundown properties typically, and you're not gonna find a lot of motivation, right? There's mostly wealthy people aren't in a rush to sell their properties for a discount, okay? But we're looking for properties that are pretty rundown, so we'll kind of slow down here now that we're in the neighborhood. And the things you're gonna look for are, clear signs that a property has some deferred maintenance. So for example, peeling paint, broken windows, tall weeds in the yard, maybe a bunch of debris sitting out in the yard, old cars on the lawn, things like that. I mean, it's pretty clear. So as we drive by some properties like this, I mean, they're not too bad. I would say I wouldn't probably pin these properties because they're not in super bad repair, but we'll find some here that are. I promise you that. Right? So, and you can even do this just for an hour or two a day, right? Maybe on your way to and from work, you drive through different neighborhoods. And the cool thing about the app is it tracks everywhere you've been. So you're not doubling up on the same streets or same routes you've already been to. So I'm just kind of keeping my eye out here. And you could be pretty liberal, right? You don't have to be super picky, but here's a good one. This is one I'd probably pin right here. So as we pull up to this house, you can see on the fascia there, it's, peeling paint, doesn't look pretty. I mean, it's got a nice picket fence, but that's about it. So for me, I'm gonna pin this property, right? So right here within the app, I can see the house number, 1313. I pin it, there you go. It's pinned. It's that easy. Literally just click the property and now it's pinned, and then obviously later on we'll show you how to, market to these people, how to cold call, things like that, but it's as easy as that. So let's keep going here. Actually, here's another good one across the street. So you can see here, this house, no grass. I mean, it's just weeds and dirt. You've got an older roof. You can tell kind of the shingles are probably 30 years old. The siding is run down. Those old single pane windows you can kind of see. So that to me would be a great property to pin, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and pin that. I'm here on the corner, I can see, and it even shows me the owner's address or the owner's name, the address. It's an absentee owner, so that's pretty cool too. So what that means is these are usually the people you want to target. Absentee owner means whoever owns this house does not live at this house. It's typically a landlord, someone that rents it out. So they've got a tenant in there that's obviously not taking good care of the property. I mean, there's a bunch of cars in the yard, in the parking lot here. That's a great candidate. All right, let's keep going. So within just a few minutes, we've already got two potential properties we could call the sellers and try and work out a deal. Here's another one up here. Now this one, the first thing I spot is the roof up here. It's got like 4 different colors of shingles on that roof. And, it may not be a great candidate, but you've got a bunch of weeds in the yard. Yeah, I would pin this one, just because of the age of the roof. So again, I look at the house number, 245. I look on my app. Yep, 245 right there. I'm gonna go ahead and pin it. This is an owner occupied one, so I'll probably call the owner, see if he's willing to sell, see if he's thought about selling. Okay, let's go hit a couple more here. Even this, I mean, literally guys, like, you don't even have to try, they're just everywhere. Okay, look at this, 238. Dead grass, weeds in the yard, older roof. You know, again, it's not like it's a meth house or anything that we know of, but I would say this property isn't being well taken care of. So I'm going to go ahead and pin that one too. 238. Boom, there we go. Owner occupied. All right, let's drive here on the other side of the freeway. So the longer you do this, the more keen and observant you'll start getting to start spotting deals, right? Now, a good indication too is just the street you're on. Like if most of the homes on the street are looking pretty rough, that probably is a good sign you're in the right place, you're in the right neighborhood for this kind of property. So neighborhood, the street, again, I always look for the first signs that someone is not taking care of their property. It's usually the grass, right? If it's summer, if it's winter, you could even look for, if there's snow in your market, if they've plowed the snow. Like if it snowed 3 days ago and they're still, haven't shoveled the snow off the walk or whatever, that's a great sign. But dead grass, again, if they're not watering it, that's probably a sign they're not taking care of a lot of other things in the house, right? They're not, taking care of the property. So here's actually a great candidate right here. Okay, so things I'm looking at and why this caught my eye is the exterior of the home, right? You look at the front, it probably hasn't been painted in 30, 40 years. I mean, there's faded paint, there's raw wood showing through. I mean, so you can clearly see that whoever lives here, whoever owns this, has not been maintaining this property. And what that means is when they're not maintaining the exterior, it's a clear sign that they're not maintaining the interior as well, right? They're probably letting, leaky pipes go unnoticed. They probably haven't replaced the carpet, flooring, cabinets in decades, right? So these are going to be the types of things you're looking for from the outside. Obviously, we can't see the inside, so we don't know what it looks like inside, but it's kind of like a person, right? If you see someone with, that's unkempt, that hasn't taken care of their body, it's a clear indication they haven't taken care of their mind or their other parts of their life. So it's the same with a house. If you look at the house and it hasn't been taken care of on the outside, it's a sure sign that it's not being taken care of on the inside. And there's typically a higher motivation for those type of people to want to sell, right? Maybe they're in a financial burden situation where they don't have the funds to take care of the house. Maybe, they're going through hard times, they've lost a job, or like I said, maybe the person that actually owns the house doesn't live there. It's a tenant that's just wrecking the property. And typically with, an absentee owner, an owner that doesn't live in the property, a lot of times they live out of state or they live in a different area where they're not obviously frequenting the house or looking at it very often, and they may not even know, right? So a lot of times when we pin these properties and we call these people, they don't even know their property's run down. We're like, hey, have you seen these? And sometimes we'll even, if I'm sitting outside the house, I'll take a picture of it and then I can send that to the owner and say, hey, did you know like your roof's falling apart? Did you know you have got broken windows? There's like trash in the yard. And a lot of times they're like, oh, I had no idea. The tenants said everything looks great, So those are the kind of things you're looking for. So this is a perfect property. I would start, marketing and calling the owner, working out a deal. These are typically the best deals we get. I mean, we've gotten, just off deals like this, driving for dollars, we've gotten huge wholesale fees, $80,000, $100,000 deals just on, driving around a neighborhood, pinning a property, and then calling the owner. It's that simple. All right, guys, so here's another one. Great candidate, peeling paint. House is old, hasn't been touched forever on the exterior. Great candidate. Now, sometimes when I find a deal, maybe like this, or one that you can tell has just been super neglected, just totally run down, a lot of times I'll even call them right there on the spot, right? I'll pin that property, right? So again, within the app, you can pin it. Let me see, what's the address here? 360. Pin it. You can even get more information, and you can literally skip trace their phone number right here from the app, and you can call them while you're sitting in front of the house. And a lot of times that goes over really well with the owner. You'd say, hey, by the way, my name's Clay, whatever. I'm actually just out driving. I happen to be in front of your property here. I was just curious if you'd consider selling it. I was just driving by and it, piqued my interest. So that's a great tactic too. No reason to wait. Just, you can call people right there on the spot. And a lot of times it helps the owner to know that you're not just in some call center calling them, it's not some virtual assistant or something like that. You're an actual person standing out in front of their property, right? So that's a great tactic that we use a lot too. If it looks like a really promising deal or a super rundown property, I'd recommend trying that as well. Okay, so I'm skip tracing the homeowner's information. Again, it's an absentee owner. So we got 2 phone numbers here. Let's call them.
The Google subscriber you have called is not available.
Not available.
Leave a message after the tone.
Yeah, hi, this is Clay. I know this call is kind of out of the blue. I was actually driving past a property that I think you own on 360 Navajo Street. And again, just wondered if you'd consider selling that property. Like I said, I was just driving by and piqued my interest. So give me a call back. Let me know if that's something that would interest you. My number is 801. Thanks, bye. So it's as simple as that. You just make a phone call. I would typically say something like, hey, I know this is out of the blue, just passing by, want to see if you'd consider selling the property. It's that simple. Either they'll say yes, they'll say screw you, they'll say no, but I appreciate the call. And if they say yes, well, there you go. That's a great lead. That's an opportunity to kind of go further and explore the option of buying the property from them, right? So that's literally what we do day in and day out. Our Driving for Dollars team, our cold calling team, that's how we get deals locked up day in and day out. All right, guys, well, thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this content, please subscribe to the channel. We're gonna have more content like this out there because we're here to help you build long-term wealth. Because remember, if it's not you, then who? And if not now, then when? Dang it.
Go ahead, tell them.
We're sitting here driving for dollars and a bus happens to pass by and our ad is on the side of the bus. I love it, okay? It's all about marketing. It's all about talking to people, getting your name out there, and bringing leads in each and every day. That's how you build wealth.